It's really nice when somebody asks you a question about nature and you actually know the answer. And it happened to me the other day. A friend said to me, how come when you see superb fairy wrens around, there's only one male and he has a harem of many females? So I think anybody who lives in Australia knows the superb fairy wren. They're an iconic bird. They're lovely. The male has beautiful blue coloration and they're always on greeting cards and postcards and all the rest. And the other birds that are with that male are brown, tiny weeny brown birds with a gorgeous little upright tail.
Sometimes with a slight tinge of blue on the tail.
That's right. That's a clue, Lou.
It's a clue. It's a clue.
So what's actually happening here in the situation that my friend observed is that there is one dominant male who has all his colour, and in amongst that group of brown birds are a number of females and also a number of immature males. And as they get older and they have more testosterone, they will colour up more and more. The more testosterone they have, the longer they retain their colour. But if you look at the brown birds, as Lou says, the ones with the blue tinge in their tail are going to become fully coloured males in time.
Yeah, there's been a lot of research on these birds. They're quite a wicked little bird. They look so innocent.
They're
quite promiscuous.
Quite promiscuous.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about that?
Well, no, I can't remember all the research, but there's a lot. I do remember that, to start with the males, I think that the fully coloured up males take huge risks to go to be high and prominent and to sing above everywhere else in order to get the girls.
That's right.
Which, just a hawk come by and you're gone, mate.
Yeah, that's right. They're lit up like a neon light.
They're very macho in that respect.
Yeah.
And then the females have been found to have, when they've looked at the genetics of the eggs, I think it is.
Yes, you're on the right track.
They actually belong to several males.
Yes, I think I read 74% of the eggs in the nest will come from other fathers. And one source that I read said that she can mate with up to 13 males in the course of half an hour.
Wow. That's really going it, isn't it?
I can't remember the source. Don't quote me. I'm not... But I just had to repeat it because it's so great.
It's a good piece of goss, anyhow.
That's
and
right.
It could be true. I must say, there's a lot more to those little cute little wrens.
That's
on
right.
On those
Who knows
cards
what's going
than you
on?
might think, yes.
And can you remember the study about them singing to their eggs?
Yes, I do. So that's right. But actually, I've heard this now with more species. That the baby in the egg and the mum kind of talk to each other. Mm-hmm. They already know the sound of each other.
Yes.
Well, the baby certainly knows the sound of its mother. So when it hatches, it's not liable to make a mistake with another mother. Is that right?
Let's just say it's not what I read. What I read was, you're on the right track. The mother, and maybe even the father, I don't know, sings to the superb fairy wrens. I'm only going to talk superb fairy wrens.
The fathers are too busy.
They've got to be busy with someone, don't they? They can't be busy on their own.
Yes, go on.
Some adult bird sings to the eggs, and when the eggs hatch, they can then repeat the superb fairy wren's call. The reason that this is important is because these birds are frequently the target of the cuckoos.
Yes.
So the mother, superb fairy, or the whole family feed the nestlings, but they don't want to waste their time and energy feeding a cuckoo. So they will only feed the ones that can repeat the call.
That sounds more like it. Yep.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's so
amazing.
Good. What a fabulous group of birds.
And you just think that's just one bird, and we're finding all this out about one bird. I mean, there's so much we don't know about virtually every species on the planet.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
Wonderful.
cute little bird. One thing I remember when I first started going out in nature that Lou taught me about superb fairy wrens is that they love blackberry plants because they're dense and prickly. And Lou told me that land care people have to be very careful about clearing out a whole lot of blackberry because you're then taking away the habitat from those birds. So land carers are careful when they possibly can to plant replacement plants before they remove all of the weedy plants where the superb fairy wrens and other small birds
are. When I
are.
was in Sydney too, it was the same with lantana. Like we would pull out only a little bit at a time and wait for regeneration in the soil or plant ourselves to make that really sort of dense cover that's required by a small bird like the blue wrens because without that cover, they're a goner.
That's right. They can't hang around waiting for the next suitable plant to grow. They've got to have somewhere to be all the time.
I've noticed another thing. I've noticed where there has been a lot of clearing these days, you can see a lot of piles of cleared dead trees all put ready. I suppose maybe they're going to be burnt or maybe they're just going to rot in the middle of the paddock. But they're very often taken up quickly by the blue wrens. In the middle of a paddock, you know, there's so many cracks
because
and
there's such a shortage of spots to go to. Yeah,
yeah, it's interesting.